What's up everybody, Tony here with High Tech Check, and today we're going to be taking a look at Spigen's case lineup for the brand new Galaxy S23 Plus. Now we do have quite a few cases in this list and we're going to go through each and every one of them to find out which ones are the best cases for your Galaxy S23 Plus. I will also be putting a link in the description in case you guys want to pick these cases up yourself, and if you guys like me and you want to support my channel, please use those links for purchasing because it helps me keep purchasing products to review to you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. So here we have the Spigen Rugged Armor case. This is probably one of my most favorite Spigen cases. And here is the case itself. It's got a really cool textured back. And the reason why I like this case so much is because it keeps the phone nice and slim, but still offers you some good protection. Now the case is made of a nice rubbery material and there are no rigid parts on this case at all. So here it is on the phone. Feels excellent in the hand. It is not slippery. It's got a nice soft feel to it. Buttons, nice and clicky. No problems accessing those. If we look at the side again, like you see, it adds almost no bulk to the phone, but it also has some nice reinforced edges as well in case you happen to drop your phone, which I've definitely done quite a few times. It also has a nice raised edge around the front of the case to protect your screen. On the other side, as you can see, it's got that nice texture that it had on the other side. It's got your power button and your volume buttons. On the bottom here, it's got your cutout for your charging port and your speaker. And on the back, again, it's got that really nice, cool matte texture and some carbon fiber on the bottom. It does not pick up any fingerprints, which is nice, and it has just a little bit of recession for your camera lens protection as well. I absolutely love this case. And if you're wondering about wireless charging, no problems there. All of Spigen's cases will wirelessly charge. So that is the Rugged Armor case. Again, like I said, this is my favorite case. It does give you some good protection for your phone while keeping it nice and thin. And then here we have the Optik Armor case. Now this case is kind of like the Rugged Armor in that it's very flexible and it's got that matte material, but this one has the added feature of having the camera cover and it slides really nice. It's probably the nicest camera slider that I've seen on a case. So if you want to totally close your cameras and protect them, this is definitely one of the cases you're going to want to take a look at. So again, the case feels really nice in the hand. It's not slippery, but it's got kind of like a nice soft feel to it. Buttons are clicky, easily accessible. If we look at the side here, as you can see, it adds just a little bit of bulk because of that camera protector, but it does have still a nice raised edge around the front for screen protection. On the side here, we have our power button and our volume rockers. There's no texture, it's just nice and smooth on the side. On the bottom, we have our cutout for our charging port and our speaker. And on the back, again, it's got that nice matte feel to it. Doesn't pick up any fingerprints. And it also has some recession for our camera lenses, but again, it's got that whole camera protector, and it also gives you 100% privacy too, so that's another added feature. It slides so nice, but again, it's not going to just slide over when you don't want it to. You actually have to press it over, but it's nice and solid. So very cool case, and if you're wondering about wireless charging, no problems there. So if you want a nice camera cover protector that's going to still protect your phone while keeping it somewhat slim, this is definitely a nice option, and I would give this case a thumbs up. Then here we have the Ultra Hybrid S. It's got a nice little metal kickstand. So here is the case itself. It's nice and clear. It's got a nice hard backing, and it's got this really nice metal kickstand that is not flimsy at all. It stays in the position that you put it, and then it just kind of clips down like that. Now before you put your phone in, you're probably going to want to take out these protectors. We have one on the back and one on the inside. It's got a nice clear look to it so you can show off the color of your phone. Very nice. Feels really nice in the hand. It is nice and grippy. The power button has like a serration on it so you can easily find it. Buttons are nice and clicky. Absolutely love that. And if we look at the side here, as you can see, it doesn't really add any extra bulk to the phone except for the kickstand on the back. It does have a raised edge on the front of the case. On the side here, as you can see, it's got our power button with that little like texture to it, which looks really cool and feels good. And it's got the volume buttons here. On the bottom, we have our charging port and our speaker cutouts. There also looks to be like a little bubble in the corners for extra edge protection. On the back, shows off the color of your phone, very nice. And again, you got your metal kickstand, and it also has some camera recessions for your camera lenses. Now again, like I said, this kickstand is not flimsy. You can very easily put it down to watch something in landscape, or you can also stand it up to maybe take a Zoom call or just look at your phone on your desk. And then it very easily just clips back into place. Again, it's not going to just fall. It's on there pretty good. Very nice. And if you're wondering about wireless charging because of the kickstand, no problems there either. So if you're looking for a nice clear case that has a kickstand, this is definitely a nice option, and I would give this case a thumbs up. Then here we have the Spigen Thin Fit case. So here is the case itself. It is really nice and light, and it feels pretty thin as well. It's got a nice hard backing to it, surrounded by a rubber edge. So there it is on the phone. It does feel nice in the hand. It's not slippery. It's got a nice soft rubbery feel to it as far as their buttons goes. Buttons are very clicky, easily pressable, which is nice. If we look at the side here, as you can see, it keeps the phone nice and thin. It's got that two-tone with the rubber and the plastic, and it still does have a nice raised edge on the front of the case. On the other side here, we have our power button and our volume buttons. On the bottom, again, our cutouts for our charging port and our speaker. On the back here, it's got a nice matte look. It doesn't pick up any fingerprints. Kind of feels like a smooth kind of silicone feel almost. It does have a little bit of protection for your camera lenses as well. As you can see, they raise up just a little bit. And if you're wondering about wireless charging, no problems at all. So if you want a case that does offer some protection to your phone, but keeps it really nice and thin and light, this is probably a case I would take a look at, and I would give this case a thumbs up. And here we have the Spigen Liquid Crystal case. And here we have the case itself. It's kind of got like a smoke look to it. Now this case is also very flexible. There's not any hard, rigid pieces on here at all, but it is pretty light. Goes on your phone very easily, and it's very grippy. Power buttons, nice and clicky, easily accessible, very nice. If we look at the side here, as you can see, it doesn't add any bulk to the phone, but it does give the front of the case a nice raised edge. On the side here, it's got that serrated power button again, and we have our volume buttons. On the bottom, we have our cutout for our charging port, our speaker, and on the back, again, it shows off the color of your phone, but it's in like a smoke kind of look, and it does have a rubbery feel to the back of it. It doesn't seem to pick up fingerprints, so that's pretty nice. And as you can see, there's a slight raised edge around our camera lenses for some protection there as well. Very nice case. It is very nice and grippy, so you definitely don't have to worry about the phone just slipping out of your hand. And it also has those little air bubbles in the corners for your extra protection there. And for wireless charging, you can very easily charge right through the case. Again, another very nice protective case by Spigen. So if you want to show off the color of your phone in a nice clear case while still keeping the phone nice and thin, this is definitely a nice case, and I would recommend it. And I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And then here we have the Spigen Neo Hybrid. And then here is the case itself. Again, this is a pretty flexible case, and it also has some plastic pieces on it as well. It's kind of like a two-piece design, but these plastic pieces are not very rigid, and as you can see, they still can bend, and it's got kind of like that weave pattern to the back, which looks pretty nice. There it is on our phone. It does feel good in the hand. It's got kind of like a smooth plastic feel on the sides. Buttons are clicky, easily accessible. If we look at the side here, as you can see, it's got that nice smooth plastic look to it, but it does still have a raised edge around the front of the case for screen protection. On the other side here, again, we have that nice smooth side with a little serrated power button and our volume buttons. Now, as you can see, the separation between that plastic and the rubber on the front here. On the bottom, we have our cutout for our charging port, our speaker. On the back, again, it's got that kind of that weave pattern. Feels pretty nice. Doesn't pick up any fingerprints. On the bottom here, you can see that where the plastic comes across the bottom. And there is a slight recession for our camera lenses as well. And if you're wondering about wireless charging, no problems there either. So this is a pretty cool looking case that does still offer some protection for your phone while keeping your phone thin. I would recommend it, and I would definitely give it a thumbs up. Then here we have the Liquid Air case. This is another super thin case by Spigen, and as you can see, this one's in kind of like a green color. This case is also very flexible. There's no rigid pieces on it. It is very light as well. There it is on the phone. It does feel nice in the hand. It's not grippy, but it's got kind of like a smooth rubber feel to it. As far as buttons goes, there's nice and clicky, very easily accessible. If we look at the side, as you can see, it's got kind of like that serration for grip. It also does have a nice raised edge on the front of the case. On the side here, again, it's got that serration with our textured power button and volume buttons. On the bottom, it's got our charging port and speaker. And on the back, it's got a kind of like this really cool triangle texture. Looks interesting, but it's matte, so it doesn't pick up fingerprints. And there's also a slight recession for our camera lenses as well. And if you're wondering about wireless charging, no problems there. So this is another nice kind of minimalistic light case. It does offer some protection for your phone while keeping it nice and thin. I would recommend it, and I would definitely give this case a thumbs up. And then here we have the Spigen Tough Armor case. So this case does have some extra added protection on the inside of the case as well as the outside. It's got kind of like these foam pieces on the back and around the insides of the case for extra drop protection. On the back of the case, it's got this hard plastic piece. This is a two-piece design, so it's got kind of like a rubbery type insert, and then it's got this hard plastic piece that kind of goes over the backing. So once you take it apart, then you're just kind of left with this very flexible rubber inner piece. So we'll put our phone inside. Then once your phone's inside, just take the hard back piece and just kind of clip it over the back until it clips into place just like that. We also have our little plastic kickstand on the back here. It's kind of flimsy and very small, but it does get the job done. So you can put your phone in landscape. You cannot put it down in portrait. It just won't stay. So the only option you have is to watch some Netflix or YouTube or something like that. And then it just simply clips back down into place just like that. Not great, but it's there. The case does feel good in the hand. It's not slippery. It's got this kind of like this smooth rubbery feel to it. Now, as far as the buttons goes, the power button is very textured. It's got that heavy serration on it, so you can easily find it. And the buttons are very easy to press, and they're clickable, which is really nice. If we look at the side here, as you can see in the corners, they are extra protected for that drop protection. As you can see, it adds a little bit of bulk to the phone. It does still have that nice raised edge around the front of the case. On the side here, as you can see, that power button has that very heavy texture, the serration on it, and our flat volume buttons too, which is nice. On the bottom, it's got your cutout for your charging port and your speaker. On the back, again, it's got kind of like that smooth, rubbery feel to it, even though it is a hard plastic. Got your kickstand. This does have some more prominent recessions for your camera lenses as well. And if you're wondering about wireless charging, no problems there either. Now this case is not really my favorite, and the reason I say that is because I don't care for these two-piece designs. I really wish that Spigen would just had made this all one piece, and I think the case would have been so much better. I just don't care for this, piece in the back being separate from the rubber. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think about it? Do you guys like it or not? Let me know in the comments below. But besides what I think, this is a nice case, especially for drop protection. I would recommend it, and I would definitely give it a thumbs up. So out of all these cases, which ones did you guys like the most? And if you're going to pick one up, let me know which one and why in the comments. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little notification bell to let you guys know when I put out new videos. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.